we go. That's music from Ripped Emotions, and they hail from Burlington, and we're happy they made the trip down here to tape the show at Entertainment Spotlight. And we'll have more from them and also a chat, find out a bit about them. Cody Lee's actually going to talk to them a little later on in the show. Time now, wow, this is a real treat. Janis Nixon had a chance to speak and hear from a very special guest.
Thank you very much, Darren. Our guest today is very special indeed. Joining us on Entertainment Spotlight, we have Bob Snider. He's going to play a song for us.
Thank you. When I was a kid, I found a robin's egg and hid it on a timber in an old abandoned shack that was sitting in a field full of raspberry bushes with a crabapple tree around the back and a stream going by at the bottom of a hill with a rock in the middle, and if you sat still you could see the minnows swimming from an overhanging limb. You could listen to the heat bug trill. And early every day, all my friends and I would play, digging holes and finding gold among the rocks, and looking for salamanders and eating all the berries, and rolling down the hill in a box. Until one day they came with their machinery and dozed down the shack and hacked up the greenery and stuffed the stream in a concrete pipe and leveled the hill away. And then they built a couple of mounds to make it look round, and brought in loads of sod, and planted a row of trees that came up to our knees without a speck of shade. It looked so odd, and there were no more dragonflies and no crayfishing, and they called it a parkette after a politician, and put up a sign saying no ball playing, and nobody ever went there anymore.
Bob Snider, fabulous.
Thank you.
You have a new album out. It's called Caterwaul and Doggerel. It's your debut release with EMI Music Canada.
Yes.
What does the title mean?
Caterwaul means the sound the cat makes on the back fence, and doggerel is a low form of poetry.
Have you had anyone mistaking it for cats and dogs?
No, no one's mentioned cats and dogs, strangely enough. I tried to avoid it in the album art, but I provided the art, and it was nothing but cats and dogs. Like, I couldn't believe it. So there's cats and dogs all over it. But ever since I titled this album, I've heard the word dictionary more than I've ever heard it in my life. Everybody says, oh, I went and looked it up in the dictionary. I thought they were two common words, but I guess I was wrong.
How does this album differ for you than your two previous releases?
Well, it doesn't. It's different than one, which is live in concert, but it's exactly like the other one, where I went in the studio with a producer and recorded voice and guitar and left it with a producer who added everything else afterwards.
There's different instrumentation on this album. When I think of Bob Snider, I think of one man and his guitar. Mm-hmm. Does that change the live show when you're out on the road, or is it still?
No, I don't have a band. The band was only for the producer's amusement, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I left a couple of spaces for musical break here and there. Other than that, I just played the songs the way I always play them. And when I'm on stage, I'm just on my own all the time.
I've had the pleasure of seeing your live performance, and you have the ability to captivate the audience. At times, it's comparable to a full band. Why do you think that is? I know I've seen other acoustic performers and whatnot, and I don't seem to capture that same essence.
I don't exactly know. I only know if someone's sitting there listening to me, then I just want to give them everything I got. You know, like, it's pure instinct. Like, I hate to see anybody get up and walk away. I just hate that. So I do, like, I'm not below begging and pleading, you know, anything to get them, you know, leaning right forward. I pull my chair to the edge of the stage and I lean out, you know, don't go, don't go. So I guess maybe that's it or something.
You began songwriting professionally in 1986.
Yes.
You had chosen to change careers at that point. What inspired you to do so?
Well, I dare say I didn't have a career to change from. I was you know, just getting by the best way I could. And I didn't plan on writing songs. I just started writing songs. And after the winter, it might have been '85, I don't know, I had about 4 or 5 songs. And I figured I was ready to hit show business.
And at the same time, you've managed to capture, you know, the attention from the Real Statics, Bare Naked Ladies, Maren Cadell, and specifically on a forthcoming release called Poetries. And how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel incredibly wonderful. Like, this is the greatest thing I ever fell into, so I highly recommend it to everybody.
It's a tribute album, and we should let everyone be aware of that. Who first approached you on the idea?
Well, it was a guy named William New, who is, he has a band called Groovy Religion, and he also runs something called Elvis Mondays in Toronto, which has been going around for 10 years at 8 venues or something like that. Like, he's all over the place and always doing the music. And he got together with a couple other guys, Enzo Perengaro, who runs a club called the Opera House in Toronto, and a guy named Al Miller, who is sound man extraordinaire and has his own band called Big Al. And they hatched this plan, and they called us, us being me and my manager Howard, and said, "Do you mind if we do this?" And we said, "No, we don't mind, we'll even help." So then it was 6 weeks of those guys, and Elliot Lefko from MCA at that point.
Some major heavyweights in this.
Yeah, and everybody they asked said yes, and so it was like 6 weeks of mad running around for those guys. I didn't do anything. I just sat there, and they put this show together.
Did you ever anticipate this when you started back in '86?
No, I can't say I did. I had no idea what was going on, you know, in terms of musical tastes or anything. I was living in Nova Scotia. I never listened to music much, and luck had a lot to do with it, because just when I showed up, interest was swinging away from the techno-pop disco and into the singer-songwriter thing. If I had come 5 years earlier, probably wouldn't have had any interest at all. So,
well, on that note, you're also being called now a national treasure. Are you prepared to become, you know, a national icon?
Well, I don't know what's involved. If it's hard work, I might not be too crazy about it. But if I don't have to do anything, it'd be okay.
Well, and we anticipate that you're going to get the chance to do what you do best. Mm-hmm. We'll ask you to do another song.
Sure. Okay. Thanks. Winter's on the way. I should have had my wood by now if I was gonna stay. But it looks like I'll be leaving. Up to now, I was hoping you would change your mind. But any more is dreaming. It's the past, and I'll have to learn to leave it behind. But isn't it a pity? So now I have to find something new to do that I can call my own. Something to believe in. After I finally shake this devil of mine, this believable demon, I don't say I can beat him, but you know I'll be trying. While I'm in the city, here am I, ready as I will ever be, feeling equal parts of lonely and of just being free, and not expecting miracles. Farewell and goodbye. to us just for being such a good try. And let's just call us even, and let's just call this a song to remember us by. Now if I sang it pretty, we could call this a song to remember us by. If I sang it pretty,
Bob Snider, thank you very much for joining us on Entertainment Spotlight.
thank you.
The CD is called Caterwaul and Doggerel, and it's in stores now. Pick it up. Back to you, Darren.
And there we are. Thanks a lot, Janis, and thanks to Bob Snider for coming by the show. Hopefully you did have a chance to see him. He was just at La Luna on Monday night, and Rob and everyone at EMI. Things work out so good when they can bring them right to us, especially on a taping day, so it really helped out a lot. And we thank and wish Bob the best of luck with his brand new CD. Still to come, Bob Who with his Real Talk, also the club listings, and more tunes and an interview with Ripped Emotions. Time now for the arts and Sylvia Kirchmar in Entertainment Spotlight.
20 years can go by quickly in the average adult's life, and that's certainly true in the life of an artist. But at least Barbara Askman has